Hi there, my name is Kelly Goff. I'm a columnist with the Daily Beast, and I'm here on the final day and closing hours of the Women in the World Summit 2014 here in the Toyota Solutions studio, and I am thrilled to be joined by yet another fabulous Women in the World panelist, Layla Shaikley.
Hi guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, thank you.
You just wrapped up an awesome panel with Zainab Salbi, who I'm a huge fan of, and you talked a bit about your work with MIT. Tell us a bit about it and what it has to do with improving the lives of women.
So ultimately, I actually am an architect by profession and everything else by accident. So I actually went into architecture because I was really interested in post-conflict design. I'm Iraqi originally and spent a lot of my life spending summers in Iraq and really understanding devastation and the potential for really, dire circumstances to limit a woman from what she wants to do. Like, and a man too, for that matter. I was in Iraq a year ago, and I was going from my aunt's house to my grandmother's. There was 4 routes, and I just happened to take the only one that didn't explode.
Wow.
So I spent, first of all, I heard about all the explosions entirely anecdotally. You walk past a baker, he says something, you get a text, and I spent the week completely myopically obsessed with my personal safety and not really concerned about my work. 2 weeks later, I was in Boston, finishing up my thesis, and I left the marathon.
Oh my gosh.
27 minutes later, there was a bombing.
Wow.
And so, again, it was this awful week of just, I felt that same very specific Iraq feeling of being myopic and obsessed with my safety and afraid. So I emailed my professor along with every other student in Boston. I was writing my thesis at that time and said, I need an extension. And he's like, yeah, it's cool, don't worry about it. And I realized that within the span of that week, I probably used about 12% of what I usually use in terms of really making a difference and just contributing because something was more central to me and it was staying alive. So I think that it was a really life-changing experience in the sense that I realized so many people are limited in opportunity based on fear. And that fear could be bombings. And over here for a young, let's say, new immigrant Muslim girl, that fear could be identity.
Wow.
So how do you shatter these barriers that prohibit, inhibit these fears and really enable potential? Because ultimately potential and giving, equal access and ability to things is not you being a good person by supporting it. It's actually unleashing much of the world to provide solutions for the rest of us on a global scale and really just optimize and make better the space that we all share and live. So that's kind of my MO.
That's your MO. In addition to being quite the fashionista,
yeah,
which I wish everyone could see the pants that you're wearing because I want them.
They're all yours.
So you're both brilliant, brainy, and stylish. But can you also just talk a bit about? I think there's a bit of a stereotype about the roles that women can play in movements and making a difference, and very few people, I would say, stereotypically think of women being involved from the tech side of things. And so what drew you to that, and what advice do you have to other women who...
Okay.
Is that a question?
No, it's a beautiful question.
Okay.
What drew me to tech? I realized architecture wasn't going to cut it in Iraq because there's too many bombings, but with tech, I could crowdsource safety and security and put it on a map for people. So my company, CrowdSOS, does that. So I happened to fall into tech. I obviously went into architecture because I'm super designy. So it kind of just happened. And going into that world, believe it or not, and I can't believe I'm telling my best kept secret.
Okay.
It was an
We're getting exclusive.
Exclusive.
A scoop.
Awesome decision for a woman. Because the amount of women they want in tech right now relative to the ratio in tech means a disproportionate amount of opportunity and fellowships and scholarships and voice and stages, and suddenly you're just so cool for being there.
Wow.
So it's actually been a really quite a wonderful experience being a fish out of water because they're waiting for girls to just come and be STEMinists like myself. Feminist STEM.
I got it. I love it. I love the term,
#STEMinist.
Okay.
And so that was kind of my road, but I highly recommend it for anybody who wants to really, use their creativity for impactful ways or other ways.
So tell people how they can go to help and support your work and support the work.
Yeah, if you go to LaylaShaikley.com or crowdsos.com, that's where a lot of my work is, and I'm always happy to engage in conversation. And feel free to ping me and talk about yourself. I would love to learn and help and support people.
And nurture the next generation of STEMinists.
To the next generation of STEMinists.
Thanks so much for joining us here at the Women in the World Summit, Layla. Tell us what it meant for you to connect with other women here. How does it impact your work?
Well, I have to say, it's just very refreshing to see so many impact-oriented women. And it's just a reminder that glass ceilings are meant to be broken. Right?
I love that.
I shouldn't be wearing these heels. I should be in boots because there's so many glass ceilings broken around here. You know, like it's just seeing women. And what's funny is I was having a conversation yesterday with a woman who's a sexy blonde who has made a lot of impact, and we were laughing about the parallels in our lives. I'm the oppressed Muslim and she's a sexy blonde, so both of us are totally inadequate. And we're both changing things, and we're like, let's write an op-ed about this.
But I have to say this too, because it sounds like a shallow thing to say, but I also think there's a stereotype that women who get things done aren't also fashion forward and fabulous.
Oh, for sure.
Like you have to be one or the other.
Oh, for
and so
sure.
that's one of the fun things about interviewing you, because I've been sort of stalking you about your style since here, and you're brilliant, and you're at MIT, and you're changing the world, and so women don't have to be either or. You can
Absolutely
be a STEMinist in
not.
stilettos.
You could be a STEMinist and a Mipster, Muslim hipster, which was the name of my movie, Mipsters.
Tell everyone about Mipsters.
So one of my friends, Abbas, founded this group that we all jumped on board. It's a listserv just for young Muslims that want to discuss Muslim issues like that are relative to us. Tattoos, partying, politics, whatever, you name it. And we decided—
I want to be on this list.
You should, actually, there's a lot of non-Muslim Mipsters.
Okay.
Yeah, you should join it, Mipsters, with a Z. And we ended up putting together a music video because one day Abbas and his friend Habib told me, you guys are dope. Why don't you represent Muslims as much as everybody else does? And we were like, that's a good question. We always complain about being marginalized, and why don't we change it? So we really casually, over a year and a half, put together this music video totally as a joke, like not taking it very seriously. I'm in Cairo on a UN mission. After we put it online, I check my phone. After getting Wi-Fi access, 200 notifications. I'm like, we just went viral. That's all I'm thinking is like, what if the government checks this? Like,
wow.
Is that gonna like compromise my like brain? Are they gonna think I'm like this girl skateboarding in heels, doesn't know how to solve problems? So it's been this really, really funny alter world of mine, but I'm realizing it's me, and it's an honest representation of who I am. And these binaries of being smart or sexy, you know, homemaking or ambitious, whatever it may be, need to be destroyed. We should write our own story and our own path and not limit ourselves to the constructed narratives created for us, because it's just not, it's not good. It's not good for the larger ecosystem and world we live in.
Okay, you're fabulous. Feminists and Mipsters unite. Thanks so much for joining us here in the Toyota Solutions studio.
Absolutely.
Visit LaylaShaikley.com for more info about her fabulous work, and her fabulous wardrobe. I'm Kelly Goff, and I'm here on the final day, closing moments of the Women in the World Summit 2014, and you've been joining us here in the Toyota Solutions studio. Have a good one.